Welcome to another episode of the Art and About UG podcast, where we dive into our city's vibrant art scene. I'm your host Stella, and as usual, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host Maria.
Today, we're looking at a profound form of artistic expression that transforms bodies into canvases, challenges societal norms, and empowers individuals in profound ways.
This episode is more than just paint on skin. It's about painting a new narrative of beauty, empowerment, and strength.
So let's art and about.
Saula.
Right. We are in Lunguja. Yeah, if you don't know where Lunguja is, it's a village.
Don't treat village now.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, there's a main road. So.
Okay. So we're here in Lunguja with Olivia Mary Nantongo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but she has a very active Instagram page where she shares a lot of her body artwork. And I don't know if you want to let us know if that is the main thing that you do, or there's other stuff that you do as well, because we're here in the body art, angle. But yeah, tell us a little bit about all the various avenues that you explore as an artist.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for taking your time and find this place. This is my hideout. This is my cave.
Okay.
And so basically, I do a lot of things because we as artists, we do a lot of things. We're multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
We do so many things. So yes, I do body art, and as you can see around me, I do painting.
Okay.
So first, I've been focusing on painting mostly.
Okay.
So body art just came in later on, and it felt like it was my strongest point more than the painting. It's not of course the painting is not strong,
Okay.
but for the body art, I felt like it's more of a powerful way to express myself, because art is like a form of expressionism.
Yeah.
In areas where you don't have much to say.
Okay.
So yeah, I
So
do
you
so much.
found yourself in the body art area, and you're
Yes.
let me settle here.
Yes.
Did you always want to do art? Were you always going to be an artist?
They always ask me that question. Because family.
Oh.
Family. Because when you're a kid, you're like, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Because my dad is a doctor.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor. I was envious about those things,
Healing people?
Yes. Yeah, healing and that. Of course, the
in
main
context.
envy was the white coat.
Oh.
Because I envied how I'd love watch my dad with that white coat. He was like a superhero, and doctors are definitely superheroes.
Yeah.
But they're not perfect. Yeah, we lose lives and you can't bring back life, but they do their best. But then when I kept on studying, and I'm seeing biology,
Chemistry.
what the physics?
Molecules.
I felt like it ends there, science done. Now I can go treat people.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have to dig deep and slice hearts and go to rats and dissect. I'm no,
Not me.
not me.
Yeah.
How will it be if I'm going to dissect a human being's heart? Nah, I'm not that strong enough.
Yeah.
So I kept drifting. You keep on changing career.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. Let me be a fashion model.
Okay.
But then I'm okay, I still have a thing for fashion.
Yeah.
A bit. I try.
Yeah.
But I'm I don't have that patience to sit behind that sewing machine. But then when I reached my secondary around A level,
Okay.
I had this love for art so much, and there was this teacher who was on my neck you woman, you have potential. She would really embarrass me, but she was really on my neck you have the potential. She could scream, and the whole school knows that this girl is
supposed to be an artist.
yes, you're meant to be an artist. And you're yeah,
It could be.
I think I could be. And then also one of my late brothers took art. He loved art so much, and I was so intrigued by it.
Yeah.
He could sketch within seconds. How? Why?
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah.
So I'm you know what? I'm not doing this engineer thing.
Art is
Let me
your
be the
thing.
new one.
Yeah.
Art is my thing. So like I stood my ground, like I'm taking art.
Speaking about you being an artist and your work so far, some of the work that you've exhibited and also the work that you hope to do, it mostly focuses about the woman. Why do you focus on the woman, and what are you trying to portray with your work?
Ooh, woman. First of all, I'm being interviewed by women. Duh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna go a bit personal with this because sometimes in my culture, the Baganda culture, there's this thing of like women having to be submissive and having to do everything.
Yeah.
And you don't have a say.
Okay.
What man has said, that's the word, even if he's wrong.
Yeah.
And it has kind of happened to me before because one time I had a really heated argument with my mom some years back. And so in my brain I was like, so you mean even if my dad says something wrong, so I have to follow it?
Yeah.
I have to accept it?
Yeah. The structure has been made for you.
Exactly. It's like we are brainwashed into believing like this is how these cultural norms are meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, no. And then when you do something that you shouldn't, it's
So bad.
it's so bad. You're like seen like you're like some kind of taboo,
like taboo.
or
Yeah,
an evil
exactly.
spirit.
Outside the box. Yeah.
Exactly, like certain things that we women shouldn't do. Like, it's disrespectful. You should respect yourself. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but there's certain things that like, if I don't do it, what will happen
What will
to
happen?
me?
Like the consequences. Of
Exactly.
The
What are the
action.
consequences? What are the actions? Let me say now you have tattoos. Now I'm dying to have a tattoo in my life. But I'm still scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in my
I hope my parents don't see this and
trust me, it's an issue.
Yeah.
Tattoos are an issue in this house.
Yeah.
Okay. So is the body paint a
Yes.
compensation?
Close enough.
Okay.
Because I'm like, if I can't tattoo myself something that I'm going to have permanently on my body,
Yeah.
let me have something temporary.
Yeah.
To
And
express.
to express myself. Because in my mind, I'm like, I wish I had this kind of tattoo on my body.
Yeah.
And I walk freely, like, yes, this is my art. I'm a walking piece of art.
Okay.
So when you paint yourself, do you walk around with it?
No.
Okay.
Don't think I'm crazy.
So you
That's
paint
the
yourself with
The paintings, some of them are full body.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's expression. So
It is. But like sometimes.
and if you're breaking the barriers, if you're breaking the
You should,
box,
like,
breaking out of the box.
I think the only way that she could possibly do it is like maybe at like a place like Nyege Nyege.
That is obvious. And also other blankets and
Like,
wine
yeah,
and
like a
restaurants.
artistic event.
Festivals, yes.
Okay, which takes us to the point of the historical background of body
yeah,
art. Can you
yes.
tell us a bit about that?
So I used to do some tons and tons of research about body art. So mostly what I love about it's like some sort of body modification.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, like
The
obviously earrings.
It's not
But,
so
yeah.
temporary.
It's not
so
like
permanent.
exactly. It's not so permanent, but yeah, it's a form of beauty. Back in the days when women or young, mature girls are ready for marriage,
Yeah.
they'll paint their bodies.
In Uganda?
Yes, there's some tribes where they'll still do it.
Okay.
There's some tribes that still do it.
Okay.
I actually don't know any, but I think I've heard
I
something about
I
believe
think with like
that.
mud and
Yeah.
stuff
Yes,
like
mud,
that, right?
yes,
And some cassava paste and
Yes.
that. There's
Yeah.
definitely a white paste.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
they have to like pound. And,
Yeah.
like, yes.
So it's something that is historical.
It
has
is.
a
It has
historical-
always been there, even in other African tribes.
Okay.
It has always been there for beauty.
The technique.
Warriors use it.
Yeah.
The technique may vary, but
The technique
the
is very
practice.
The fact that like they have it's so creative. The fact that we have the materials with us, but for them they had to think or grab probably leaves and
make
smash
it a-
and make that paste.
Yeah.
Or go cut. They can get those trees that bleed and like probably leak some white substance.
Yeah.
Mix, and like get sticks and paint them, or use their fingers to paint themselves or mud.
Okay.
So yeah, then also warriors.
Yeah.
Like a form of scaring their opponents or their enemies away. There's also a sense of maturity.
Yeah. When you paint, whether yourself or like another subject on the body, when you use the body as a canvas, what message are you trying to
Yeah, actually,
portray?
I was also trying to think of how to ask that because when you look at that ritual and the meaning that these guys are putting into their practices.
Yes.
Also, are you just saying, okay, fine, let me just use my body as a canvas because there's a canvas, or like
there's a particular message.
Well, if I'm to borrow a perspective of those back in the days trends, it's like bringing back the old tradition.
Okay.
Let's not make it seem like it's uncivilized, because now we're only doing it in particular places where it's welcomed.
And
Like only festivals. No more. Oh, that is so cool. And then next minute, okay, festival is done. You wash it off and feel like where people look at you and like, are you from some kind of ritual? It's not. I don't want it to be seen that this is a ritual kind of thing or some kind of evil type of deed. No, it has always been there.
Yeah.
Your great-great-grandparents used to do that, even if you didn't know. But now that we have been overly educated with so much Western culture and stuff, our brains are now into the Western culture.
I'm imagining you wake up in the morning and you put on your kapower suit and then you paint your face and you walk into the office.
You could. Like, you could paint like half of it.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you could spare the face and just
put your but anyway, people,
it can be like a disguise. It's a design,
Yeah.
I mean, guys would ask you,
you good?
Yeah, exactly.
But think of it like the tribal tattoo, right?
Forever,
like the Maori?
Yeah,
Like
think of
the
it like
guys
a tribal tattoo,
because
right?
they're trying to bring it
But
back.
you usually
Yes.
paint now,
Yes.
So you could normalize it in a way. I mean, it would take a while to.
You would have to be the first radical person like coming forward and saying, let's, which is actually what you're doing, because I don't think I know many Ugandans doing body painting.
No,
I
body
know a
painting,
few, and a few. Some of them
you
are
do?
my friends. I do know a few friends of mine have been doing body art.
Okay.
Actually, they even introduced me to it.
Okay.
At first, I used to do it like means of money. Yeah, let's go to festivals, paint. That's it.
So you also paint people.
It's a great experience, but then you have to be the people. The fun bit of it was like seeing the people you're painting, and then others expect you to make miracles. Like, can you paint this on me? Can you paint this on me? Or they expect you to do some type of realistic graffiti on their body, and you're like, come on, it's just simple stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
Others like you have to do with some ladies who are like, oh, my skin is sensitive.
Okay.
So like, you know what? Let me do it on myself where I won't complain.
Yeah.
As you wish.
And I carried it on, and then that before I used to do it for fun.
Yeah.
But then digging deep during that time of COVID, there's that moment where like things were so, there are moments where you just sit there and reflect on life, and so the people we'd hear crazy stories, suicide, people murdered, and because for all that time, people seated there, they're tired.
Okay.
I need to do something, or like people, like you're seeing the animals in people, like, oh wow, this so and so killed who, you're like, whoa, this is
too much time.
Like you have to tolerate someone to the point that you're tired.
Yeah.
And then also, as you being alone, you're thinking about so many things
You have to sit with your thoughts.
Yeah. And then like you think of, most times the negative can outweigh, and you're like, what is my life? You start reflecting and thinking. So usually we artists, we overthink.
Yeah.
We allow way too many thoughts in our heads.
That's where the inspiration comes from.
Exactly. We don't sleep. So like there are times where, let me go personal anyway. So there are moments where there are times where you feel I can't do this anymore.
Okay. It's like just that feeling.
It's just that feeling. Now I brought that body painting into mind. It's like, okay, this paintbrush is like my pair of scissors, or knife, or blade.
So it's a way of letting it out.
It's like, okay, and it's therapeutical.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. You're not causing harm to yourself, but you're letting all those intrusive thoughts just bead, that brush, and
You're
pouring it into those patterns, and those patterns define life. So I call them patterns of life. That's why it's sacred. That's why even back in the days, it was sacred to them.
Yeah.
So it's sacred body art.
Okay.
Wow.
There's a story behind body art.
Yeah.
Everything there's a story
It's
to
intentional.
tell. It's
Yeah.
intentional. It's
Okay.
not just
It's not
because
just,
I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
I have a reason as to why I'm doing this. That's why warriors paint themselves to hide themselves.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for beauty because I know I'm beautiful if I
Yeah.
paint myself.
Yeah.
I have a story to tell. I paint those patterns of
symbolic
life.
to
It's a symbol. Yeah, it's a form of symbolism of life for me. So the patterns of life.
We've seen from your work that it's not just canvases, or well, canvases as we know them.
Yeah.
Yes, but you use different materials, like what do they call this?
It's a sack.
Yes, like a
Size.
sack.
Yeah.
Is it so?
I don't know
Like
what's it
Couture.
called.
What's a
It's like a
couture in
couture.
Brazil?
I think it's a sack.
Okay.
So you use like sacks. Then we have like wood,
Plywood.
Yeah,
and
plywood,
also
yeah.
I mean like even the prints. It's not just paint, but it's also like different textures and
Yes,
different
yes.
things.
Yeah.
But how is this different from when you paint on your body, for example, painting on wood or
Yeah.
on a sack and your body? How is it different? Can you tell us a bit about your creative process and
The choice.
The choice of materials.
yeah.
The choice of materials. The choice to say this or body or
Yeah. So I like thinking without the box. They say think outside the box, but I think without it.
Okay. I like that.
That's a new one.
I mean,
You had it here first, by the way.
Yeah.
so I mean, I love to experiment different types of materials,
Yeah.
and to me, I love also playing around with texture
Yeah.
on the canvas, definitely.
Yeah.
And when I pick certain materials, I want them to create a certain form of realism.
Okay.
There are artists who are really good with painting, the patience and actual, without of course having to apply this. And
Yeah.
they're really good at it. Now to me, I want to use the actual materials.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to
Portray the hair as
exactly
it
as it is.
is. Yeah.
And then usually when I'm painting on canvas, it's more of just experimenting.
Okay.
On canvas, it's more of experimentation. I want to try out this, I want to try out this. And the fact that, the people who are like, they would ask me this question of like, why don't you like get that one particular type of technique
And make it just
and stick to it? Yes, where like, oh, I can tell this person. I would love to, but I see it as like we are different people in this world.
Okay.
And I want to create people differently with their unique characters. We're born different. I don't want to see it like it's similar no matter how much the person has a different. I mean, it will feel so monotonous for me if I stick to that one particular technique, even if I'm creating a different facial structure, whatever.
You want the freedom to
I want the freedom to express. Expressionism, exactly. That's what it's all about. We express ourselves. It's like I'm creating a whole different character.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to paint you in a different way. I want to paint you in a different way, not the same technique.
I guess it makes sense because you experience people differently,
Exactly,
right?
yes.
So it would not be fair to.
And it's like we're all born different.
Yeah.
So why not create the character in a different manner? Even if it's not exactly as you are. I'm like, oh, I see Stella's like this, so let me maneuver around and see how I can create a portrait of her, something that can portray her, even if it's not exactly as she is.
And it's not going to be the same
Exactly.
as somebody else's.
Yes. So that's how I do it to when I'm painting on canvas.
Would you say that for the canvas work, which is because the canvas, it sounds like you're freer, you have more liberty to explore with the canvas than with your body?
No, I have more freedom with the body.
Yeah.
Yes.
What have you done with your body in terms of like art?
Oh, I have painted it. That's obvious. I have painted it.
Okay.
I have painted it, and it's really, I love the fact that it has taught me patience.
painting
sure.
your body.
Painting my body.
Because
this is easy because like you think quick. And like I'm not doing all the realism. I am not patient in that area. Like I want this done. I'm tired.
Okay.
But like with the body art, I'm putting everything in this head of like so much is going through my mind, and then like I don't have to teach my left hand to paint.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yes.
Because they're hard to reach parts. There's some people who have never,
Of course, I can't reach the back.
Yeah. Okay. Do you leave that like?
Yes,
the
that's
dead zone?
yeah.
So how long does it take to do full?
An hour.
An
It
hour.
can take an hour to paint the full body.
Yeah,
Okay.
or less.
I thought you said you don't have patience. That is a lot of patience.
That's a lot of
for
patience.
1 hour.
Auntie, as I said, it taught me patience.
Okay.
I can understand
I
that.
can understand.
Because you have to wait
It's
for
for
it to
an
dry.
hour.
To dry, exactly. Because like I start with the leg, because like it will dry. Because if I start down here, I have to bend. Now that's a
bend, yeah.
smudge, and I don't want it to
And
smudge.
that's probably a lesson you've learned from trial and error.
Exactly.
So let's talk a bit about the times that you painted people, right?
Yes.
Do you do full body paint, or do they normally ask for a specific part?
Any part they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any part. I remember I worked on a model full body.
Okay.
Wow.
Full body.
Was it for like a performance?
She's a model.
Okay.
Just like a photo shoot. Maybe probably trying to like promote something. So I had to do full body on her.
Since starting as a body, since starting and being people starting to associate you with body paint.
Yeah.
Have you like made a name? Like if you among the people who are like into this kind of thing or who use this kinds of style, like people know you and like they're like, oh, that's Olivia Mary. There goes that body painting.
Yeah, they know me, and yeah, they know me. They know like now mostly it's now my most powerful part
Like,
in the art because I've managed to exhibit most of my works there because of mostly body art.
Yeah.
One of my curators was like, why don't you put the painting aside and just focus on the body art?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do that, but I'm not putting painting aside.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I started from. I can't abandon something that brought me from somewhere because that's how I started.
Yeah.
Started with painting, and it also gave me managed to exhibit.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the fact that now people are seeing that my strongest point is the body art, and like the fact that I'm using my body,
Yeah.
which not so many do that.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a challenge to some people where like they're using their body and like some are struggling with their insecurities.
Yeah.
We all have our
Image.
insecurity. Yeah, the image of the body. Obviously someone would just be. I have people. Yeah, I times I will post myself nude. Of course not yet, but I have to cover up. Yes. I mean, yeah. I don't. It's not modest, but respectful.
No, but I expect the paint also covers, right? In a way. In a way.
Yeah, sure.
I've seen that. That's why I side-eyed the camera. I was like, okay.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you can visit the page if you're curious.
Body paint, right?
Yeah.
So you use body paint to sort of take back control of how people view your body and control the narrative around that. But what are some of the themes that you're intentionally trying to portray and explore through your body paint? And what are some of the conversations you want to start with the body paint?
Mostly I love to focus on body positivity.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of feels, it's painful watching people feeling insecure about their bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, I get backlashes and people study your body like as though it's meant to be perfect or whatsoever.
Objectification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, we live in a world where people expect you to be perfect.
They're wrong.
And like they'll always look for that flaw, like why don't you work on that? And if you try to work on it, they're still not satisfied.
Yeah.
So for how long are you going to satisfy that person's needs when that other person who is also judging is not even perfect himself or herself?
Yeah.
So that's my basically that's one of the largest topics for me.
Yeah. Body image.
Body imagery, yes. And with the body art, I want I would also love us to like bring it back, want it back.
Bring that for that particular form of expression.
Exactly, like yes, and like to also be fully appreciated in society and not be seen as something for a different particular purpose. Festive.
Yeah.
I want to wear it even if it's just for a sleeve of body art, and I can walk freely with it, and I'm not judged immediately or viewed like, what's wrong with this person, you know?
Yeah.
So I want it to be seen as something like it's a normal thing because it was normal back in the days.
Yeah, like tattoos, I suppose.
Exactly.
Right? It took a while for them to be accepted.
Even tattoos were there back in the days.
Yeah.
Just different techniques. Different.
We keep on evolving. People we're now having tattoo machines. Yeah, but those days they had those techniques where like they tap.
Yeah.
I think
It's some kind. Is it from Indonesia?
maybe
or something?
the trouble with it right now is that body art itself, especially, it like draws attention to things that we want to keep to be modest about, like bodies, like when you're talking about bodies in public spaces, like things like there's conversations where people are like, oh, don't show your ankles,
Yeah.
or don't show your shoulders,
Yes.
or don't show this. So there's a lot of like conversations that are trying to drive us all towards modesty,
Yes.
and body art would drive us away from that direction. So is there a way that you separate in your mind the connection with direct nudity or like porn? Like I think if Lokodo was alive, he'd actually say you're a pornographer.
And yet somehow, this idea of modesty, the pain does cover up, right?
Yes, it
So
does.
where is the line
Well,
between
yeah.
modesty and nudity?
And nudity.
Well, not modesty, but where is the line between art and nudity? How do you
Separate.
how
Do
do
you
you
yeah,
draw
if
the
you do.
line?
Nudity in itself is an art because even in the Renaissance times they would draw nude women.
Okay, thank you for the explosive answer.
Yes.
That solves nothing.
Yes.
No. We used to study the things, and the funny thing is, most of this nudity was mostly women. You realize in the Renaissance art times, the men were clothed,
Yeah.
and it's only women
No, but
who
I
were
think
like
it's less
exposed.
offensive if it's a picture than if it's a body.
His body.
Is it less offensive?
I think it's up to somebody's perspective. I mean,
Yeah.
if you see nudity as something offensive, it's up to you.
It's going to be offensive to you no matter what.
It will be offensive to you, but to me, I see it as a form of art.
Yeah.
Why do we draw nude women nude people
art
in anatomy, art class? It's not offensive to us.
Yeah.
It's our brains that are stuck to this thing of like, oh my gosh, that's so offensive. I've seen a
but that's what
naked
I'm saying,
person.
though. Like, if you're in an anatomy class, right? The body
Time
that
and
you're
place?
seeing, but the body that you're seeing in the textbook is a picture. It's an illustration. But whereas with body paint,
It's
the
more
body,
physical.
It's the body itself. Like this is a person that's breathing. It's alive. It's more personal.
It's
it could be
direct.
me. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's sort of
yes,
like a self reflection. Or it's like a mirror.
Yes.
I think maybe. Sorry, we've hijacked
No,
your
it's
answer.
okay, please.
But it feels like it might bring up a conversation that people don't want to have.
Yeah.
It brings up, you're forcing people to look at things directly, as opposed to something that's covered up, and you're like, okay, that person has, a navel and a butt, but I don't want to have to see them. So that's basically what the modesty thing
comes
would
in.
be.
Yeah.
But for you, I don't know if you've faced backlash. Like, have you actually dealt with some direct backlash? I mean, it can't be rosy in your DMs.
Of course, it can be rosy.
In your DMs?
No.
Is it there?
Of course, with the girls, they'll be like, why would you paint yourself and expose your body like that? Can't you
Okay.
respect yourself? Blah, 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 blah. So, like, you have to figure out not to be rude to that person. And then, like, if it has offended, so I have to be polite. Like, if it has offended in any way, I'm sorry. But don't look at it for that long and judge me because I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And also people out there who might want and appreciate it.
Okay.
So I am not forcing you to like. Everyone isn't. One man's meat is another man's poison.
That's also true.
So,
Yeah. But also this idea.
of course, with the men, they'll be like, yeah, I like your boobs, like, yada yada. They're not looking at the paint, of course.
Sure. But also this idea of, this conversation about objectification versus the subject, like, looking at the woman as an object.
Yeah,
Exactly.
as opposed to
There is that.
Sure.
There is
Yeah.
that, yes.
Wow, so many conversations.
It's a
so
lot.
many conversations. I think jumping off from that, we could also get your thoughts on what your artistic legacy, what you're driving your artistic legacy to be. Like, how do you want people to speak about your art and feel about it? Or is that something that you don't care about? You're just making art, to fuel your artistic hunger, and you're like, I have to give you this art.
I know, as long as my art makes an impact on somebody's life, I have done my part.
I can say I'm impacted. For sure.
The impact being body positivity,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, just like
At the very least, you should feel something about it.
Yes, and the reason, the fact that I'm painting mostly women,
Yes.
not all women have the voice to speak out.
Yeah, they
So there's certain paintings that I can make that will help them. Like if she's to look at it like, I've been recognized.
Yeah.
Somebody out there,
Represented.
I've been represented.
Yeah.
Somebody out there is speaking on my behalf.
Yeah.
Because there was a certain residency that I did, and I was the only person who did a painting of two women, of course, one with vitiligo.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain man, he had a disability. And I was like, I am glad you have done this, because I wasn't seeing any art that was representing disability. And to me, I felt like, okay,
this is some impact.
it was a strong impact.
I think that's a beautiful.
And like, I love the fact that he even spoke on my behalf.
Yeah.
Because that's what I like about exhibitions. If I'm exchanging ideas, I don't have to tell the whole entire story of what my work is all about.
Yeah.
Because you can also tell me your opinion about it.
Yeah, the interpretation.
Yeah.
Because all different pieces relate
Exactly.
to us
Differently.
People have
For sure.
different stories when
They have
they
different experience.
view your work. One might see it in a negative perspective, like, no, I don't like how this person has done it. But like, you're entitled to opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force it. That's why we have to be strong enough to receive criticism.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have built up that.
Oh, I
criticism.
try.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like you have.
the first criticism I received, I felt offended.
It's hard to take.
This guy was a good artist. He paints nature. He's really good.
Yeah.
So when he saw I did really huge murals, and then he looked at me. I was like, I don't like it, and he didn't know I was the artist, and I was standing next to him. Like, I don't know how to think about this work. I really don't like that.
Yeah.
I kept quiet, but I was like,
How dare you?
how could you?
Yeah.
Until the receptionist was at the gallery, was like, oh, I stepped aside, like pretending I'm viewing other
And
works.
then they told-
And then she told him, like, oh, she's the actual
Did
artist.
he take back?
Oh, he did. Until he told me, like, oh, ma'am, can you please explain to me? I'm like, I thought you would ask.
No, but I mean, like, it's a learning process, right?
Yeah.
As long as people are open to learning.
In the process, it taught me, like, I have to give people who have come to view my work also a platform to speak, because I'm sparking a conversation,
Yeah.
which can also help me get more ideas
Yeah.
for my work.
Yeah, for sure.
So someone can be like, what's this about? So I can be like, what do you see?
So I know this piece was recently we attended an exhibition at Motive.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. So are there any more exhibitions in your future? Anything that we can look forward to? Actually, and also, do you create specifically for, like you're saying, let me do a collection and create for this thing? And is there any, or do you just wake up and the spirit of art takes you?
Yes, the demons within me are like, girl, wake up and create. The exhibition's ahead. I don't
like
no,
that.
because I know definitely I'll be working. I know I'll be involved in other exhibitions ahead, solo exhibitions ahead. I don't know when, but I know they'll be there.
They'll be there.
Yes, it's all I have to do is wake up and create, because that's where people will be picking up, like, oh, this is pick this is good for the exhibition.
Do you have any other things that you're curious about?
No, I would love to see you in action, though.
Oh,
Painting yourself.
For sure.
Because, I mean, like, we were talking about how, art has inspired you to be lazy. To be patient.
Patient,
right?
Yeah.
To be more patient. Apologies.
No, it's okay.
To be more patient. I cannot paint myself. The most I can do is probably my hand, and then after that, even nails.
Really?
So hard.
Nails
So
is
I'm
easy.
Really, I'm really dying to see you in
action. So do we get like a small demonstration?
Of course, I can do
Awesome.
something.
Awesome.
Please, that
Thank
would
you.
be lovely. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Art and About UG.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, share, and tune in next time as we continue to explore the fascinating world of art in all its forms.
Until next time, come for the art.
Stay for the story.
Bye.